Hello, my name is Tom Diamond. I'm moving over from Facebook with so many wonderful followers to YouTube. And this YouTube channel is basically an extension of Facebook, my Facebook page. And basically, what we talk about is this thing that's going on in American life and politics that is affecting every single one of us. And in a nutshell, basically, what's happening is people are saying that there's a problem, putting it on the news, taxing us to fix the problem, then sending our money to the corporations and the politicians that are taxing us and telling us in the news that it's a problem. Americans' quality of life is depreciating a great deal over the last few decades, and it all comes down to one single formula. That single formula I will go over in this channel, giving different examples, and at the same time talking about ways to stay and be healthy that also are very affordable and very easy and good for you, but don't get mentioned in the media because of the same reason, where if we have something that's inexpensive, let's say jojoba oil. So I had a friend who told me that jojoba oil made your hair grow. Now, I don't know if this is true. However, jojoba oil is in a lot of products. And the guy who told me that had a lot of hair and told me that 30 years ago. So, it seems to be working. What I talk about on this is just some common sense things. And this is basically what I do on Facebook. And so I'm going to do it here from now on the YouTube channel. And it's just that America has a serious problem. If you go to the park, let's say you go to here in Cleveland at Cedar Point, Americans are incredibly overweight, and you can tell that they're struggling to pay their bills. The number of credit card delinquencies backs that up. So what's going on? Why are we all in a time when America is the wealthiest it's ever been and times are really the best they've ever been? Why are we struggling to pay our health bills, our car payments, and our house payments? So part of it's us. There's no doubt about it. Our parents didn't have the recurring cable bill, right? They had a TV that they saved up money for and bought, and then that was it. Yet people have a cable bill. Now, me personally, I haven't had cable in years. I just do streaming. I don't understand paying all that money, especially have the way the media, the classic media, CNN, MSNBC, and CBS, 60 Minutes. They're just, oh my God, they're so, they never tell the truth. They tell the truth less than they tell something that's not accurate. So as Americans, we are kind of overweight and we are kind of broke and we are becoming uneducated and we are being taxed to death. This channel is to tell you how to get out from under that. For what it's worth, it's just my opinion. I'm just going to tell you what I think and things that I've learned over the years that I wish I had known, and I wish there had been a channel I could have gone into and I could have watched, because the situation is so bad now that our kids are embracing communism and socialism because they don't feel like there's any hope. In the America I grew up in, you felt like you could become a multimillionaire. And I noticed that my friends who lean left over about the last 10 years, maybe 15 years, have been saying, well, there's just no way, you can't make it anymore. Even though there's just so many people I know that are self-made millionaires. It can be done. But a lot of times, yes, we don't have the ambition. We don't have the patience. We don't put off, we got to go buy that new car. We got to go buy those expensive dinners. Yeah, okay, some of it's on us, that's for sure. And maybe that's the point of a future video, is talking about the backbone of America and the lack of discipline. But, in America, 40% of our population does not pay any taxes. So as everybody's walking around talking about socialism and communism, I want to say that America has already braced about as much socialism as we can handle. We have a government that's borrowed trillions of dollars, but we have 40% of the people not paying any taxes at all, any federal taxes. 50% of us receive some type of government program. I, for example, get Social Security. It's fine. I earned it. I paid into it and actually got ripped off. I would have rather had that money put into a 401k. I would have twice as much money coming in. But see, everything, this is the way we do everything. The top 1% of wealthy people in the United States pay 40.4% of all federal taxes. So you want to talk about socialism or communism. We do escalate the taxes onto the wealthiest of us. I don't know what Bernie Sanders is talking about. The top 5% pay 60.6% of federal taxes, according to Google. We'll do a video on Google because I can show you where it's not accurate. So I'm sort of messing up my numbers here. I'm just saying my sources. The top 10% of earners in the United States pay 71.1% of federal taxes. 3 out of $4 come from the top 10%. Okay? So if you want to talk about socialism, I think you could argue we already have socialism here in the United States. I want to do a video about something called Bulletproof Coffee, where you take grass-fed butter and you put it in your coffee and it has all kinds of health benefits. Again, we're learning that sometimes maybe fat, maybe cholesterol. I'm still doing research, but it looks like it's actually good for you. The things that we've been actually taking drugs to get rid of might actually be beneficial in the right way. So this is an introductory video. I'm Tom Diamond. This is Diamond on Deck today, and we're getting off of Facebook, coming over here. I just want to help people live better, live longer, have more money in their pocket. And all of that can happen if you realize this one formula, which is the way that we're told something. Then our politicians get up there after we've been convinced by the media that something needs to be done. It might be war, it might be lead-based paint, it might be asbestos, it might be all kinds of different things. We let our politicians tax us to handle this problem. Nobody complains because we think it's a problem. But if you do the research and you get into it, you find out maybe this isn't the problem that we thought it was. I can definitely tell you from experience, a great deal of experience with asbestos, that it would have been better if it had just stayed in place until the buildings were torn down and then removed in a safe manner with nobody in the building. Instead, we spent trillions of dollars going around removing asbestos and replacing it with, ironically, glass, fiberglass, which floats in the air and goes into your lungs and causes silicosis, much like asbestos causes asbestosis. That's a different video. But that's my point, is they create a fear, they tax us to fix the fear, then the tax dollars go to the politicians and the media services who told us it was a problem. And this circle goes around and around, and Americans are getting worse and worse and worse. We need to turn the system off. We need to stop our government. We need to stop the lobbyists. We need to stop the media. We need to stop the corporations from doing what they're doing and just give us the news straight up. And I don't think it's been like that in just about my lifetime. So pretty much when I was born, when Kennedy was assassinated, everything's been kind of changing. And I've got all kinds of great videos coming up. If you look at the largest merger in history, you'll see that the cigarette people knew that the gig was up. And so they merged with the food people. And if you look at that RJR Reynolds and Nabisco merger, I think 1985, now look at America's health from that point onward. So what they did is, it seems like they took the addiction that they had into cigarettes and moved it over to food, probably with sugar being the vehicle. These are the types of things that I want to talk about in these videos. All right, so I want to keep them short. So how do we do on time? Have a nice day, and I will talk to you soon.